Okay. Is Twitch actually getting... There we go. Oh, and of course, immediately, I need to step away for a minute. Alright, I'm back. Welcome, welcome. Alright, so... Star Rail. Did I tell you my woes with Star Rail and how annoyed I've been by it because of streaming and not streaming? Oh boy. I need to adjust the on-stream Twitch chat. Actually, give me just a second. If you're at your computer, you want to... It's going to be a couple of minutes before I actually start the story thing. Do you want to jump in a Discord call and I'll just chat until I'm actually starting properly? While I also adjust my stream. Where did Discord go? There we go. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello. What's up? Oh, yes, I can hear you. A little too well. Let me turn you down.
Most people don't chat things that take up more than one line of text on Twitch, do they?
Depends. On like I've done more than one line. Like,
so if you look at
it just
my
really
stream,
depends on
the way that I have the Twitch chat inserted.
Yeah.
Will cut off. It looks like.
Let's test that.
Around 5 characters of text, if it goes down a line. Because, like, in the letters you spammed, there's nothing between the F and the SP.
Right. Let's see how that looks like. There you
go. Looks like I'm missing a letter and a half from your username on the back of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because on mine, it's just missing the A because I ran out of characters I could use. And I just kept copying, because I copied one and then just pasted, and so it was like, oh, you ran out of characters, so I'm only missing the A.
How the chat looks on the stream itself, you'll see it's missing the last 2 letters.
Yeah, it's kind of broken off the U also. It just says NASA.
Yeah. Let me see if I can adjust that while I tell you my pain.
Your woes.
So, you may remember, because I think you were in the chat for 1 or 2 of those. I streamed this game back when it first released, like the first few story chat. Or no, I did not stream it, I mean.
Yeah. Oh, and I was curious about that, because I was like, what?
I did not stream it originally. Because, to tell the truth, I wasn't expecting a lot from it. Even, like, when it comes to gacha games, even ones that end up with good stories usually have really mediocre first and a lot of times second chapters. Like, if you think back to Genshin, the Mondstadt storyline at the beginning of it is not that interesting.
Yeah.
But, and I don't think you got this far, the story really picks up with the next major story chapter after that.
Okay.
I kind of figured this would be the same way. I really did not figure its very first chapter to be really, really good. So I didn't stream it. And I got to the end of the first story chapter and thought, man, I wish I had streamed that. That was really good.
I do remember this now, because we went out to eat and you were telling me this. That's right.
So I then proceeded to stream the next couple of chapters. Or the next chapter, I think. Just the next one. And I was honestly kind of underwhelmed by the next one. Like, it was pretty good, but it did not come even close to comparing to the first one.
That is such a bummer.
So I kind of just thought, well, maybe I won't stream this game after all. And then this is what I'm about to do is the second part of the 3rd chapter. The first part was released a little over a month ago, and then this one just released earlier in the week. The first part of this chapter, amazing. Really great. Not quite as good as the first, but really close to it.
Yeah. Just, enjoyable and all that.
Yeah. So now, I am, missing the 2 best parts of the story in my streams. And also just
no.
not sure if this game is worth streaming consistently or not.
Oh no! Oh, that's so frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Oh no!
And then also, I don't know how much you care to understand any of what you're seeing, but if you want to have any clue what's going on, I guess I'll just have to send you some of the cutscenes on YouTube or something.
I'll just look it up if I want.
I actually thought about putting together a little video just because I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
Like a kind of video summary of the first story, like first part of this chapter. But I never got around to it.
You still should. That wouldn't be bad.
I've forgotten how I set this.
I don't know if my internet's dying or if it's
there you go. Thing at all.
Yeah.
I'm just completely confused right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with that. And then, can I just reset? No, I cannot just resize it that way. Which is really stupid and bad. Let's try cutting its width by 50. That looks like it's done the trick.
Yeah? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. That looks a lot better. And you can see my, like, the mod stuff, too.
Yep.
Nice.
All right.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab some beer. But BRB!
How could you? Oh, right.
I'm back.
Real quick, I am going to send you one video, one of the cutscenes, because.
Okay.
Because.
All right. How's work going?
Awful.
Same old. Yeah. All right.
I mean, that is same old. So.
Yeah, but I mean, to text you earlier this week. Like, you were definitely like, I thought about it a few times, and then it was just like the worst possible times I could think about it. And I was like, okay, I'll remember this time. I'll remember this time. And I'm like, you're on my brain. I've thought about you. I'm like, I hope everything's going right. You know, it's not been streaming a lot, which I know, like with your job and stuff, we've talked about it, but still. And then I was just like, I haven't texted him yet.
History. So, for reference, the weird snake thing that pops up in this cutscene is something that I had fought earlier in the story chapter.
Yeah.
And it was really annoying.
I'm gonna say, yeah.
And also, this girl is someone that's been hanging out with the player throughout the story chapter.
Okay. Good grief, it's too much breathing already. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Well, that's traumatizing.
Yes.
Is that your main character? The dude?
Gray hair is the main character, yes.
No, he's not okay, woman. What?
None of the rest of this really matters that much. One other
Good
thing I'm
grief.
gonna try to find.
That is
real quick.
crazy.
This is the... Let's see.
Is she dead? She ain't coming back
We
no
don't
more?
know. This
Okay, you
is
should- okay.
like the cutscene leading into the final boss fight of the chapter.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is this
which
going to
one
be one of
this
those
is.
games where she comes back bad, but she's like, I can't help it, like I'm being controlled? Maybe.
No clue.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Give me a second.
A memo keeper.
It is pertinent to the game, but it doesn't matter.
Ah,
really.
she's the
outside of it.
secretary. Hmm. Hmm.
So, how much
Good
of
grief.
what's potentially going on do you want explained here?
As much as you want. Honestly, it's not going to bother me. I mean, it's intriguing. I'll listen to anything.
So, essentially,
Whoa. Hey, what?
she teleported you somewhere.
Nice.
Essentially, the developers of this game have never been shy about killing off characters in their games. Including playable characters in their gacha games.
Nice. All right.
That being said, the general consensus within the community, which I agree with, is that Firefly, the character in question there, is probably not dead. A lot of people speculate that she is actually Sam, the armored guy from that other cutscene, which is why I showed it.
That's what I kind of wondered, like where it like slowly panned up, and I was like, it's gonna be one of those where they revive a character, but it's like she has the memories of her old life, but she can't help herself anymore.
So the
like
thing with
she's being
Sam
controlled,
is
kind of thing.
He is part of a faction that are kind of, sort of. They were made to look like the antagonists of the game throughout the first couple of chapters. But it turns out that they're kind of just... They're doing what they think is necessary to put you in the position to fight a larger enemy later on. And what they think is necessary is not always the nicest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, two of the characters out of that faction are already playable at this point. But I don't know. Basically, like, I don't know. I just wasted that. Okay.
Oh no.
It's not
Oh,
a
I'm
huge
sorry.
deal. It'll be back tomorrow.
Wait, what did you waste?
There was a thing right here that refills a thing I already had filled.
Oh, okay. I thought I made you like miss something because I was like
I just
extending
wasn't
your
paying
time.
good attention
Oh,
to
okay.
what I was doing.
Yeah.
But actually, since I'm on the map, this is the perfect... Do you see how on the list of locations along the right side, there's reality and dreamscape?
Yeah.
So, where Firefly was stabbed was in the dreamscape, which means it's not the real world, which means technically she should be fine. Except all the characters are acting as if she's definitely dead. So presumably... And also another character, also stabbed by that same thing, is also being treated like she's definitely dead.
Interesting.
So presumably the big snake thing that stabbed the two of them kills you even if you're in the dream when it does so.
Interesting. So kind of like a what's that one anime About like if you die in the game, you die in the real world.
Sort
What's
of
that again?
Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So
Go ahead.
so did they not have like actual blood? They've just got like water in their veins or something?
Well, we're in a dream.
Oh, okay. So that's one thing I noticed, or one of the things. And then two, it's like when she fell into his arms, it was like what was the gold like souls that were coming out of her body? It was like these tiny little orbs that were like gold.
Pull the video back up because I don't actually remember that.
Because it kind of seems like, I mean, a lot of times I feel like in video games or things like this, it'd be like, oh, either it's kind of like a dream illusion-ish and she'll be back, or that those are like souls. I don't know. I'm calling them soul sparks. I don't have any idea what they are. Life sparks. I don't know. Or just
I'm
like
not actually sure.
Mhm.
That could just, like, if she is Sam, that could just be like a normal, ordinary, like fire spark meant to, meant to reference that, meant to kind of foreshadow that. I didn't notice that any of the times I've seen that cutscene personally.
Yeah. So those were the two biggest things that I noticed, like watching that, is it kind of was like weirdly like, it could have just been effects, but it almost seemed symbolic in some way. Like the way that was like clearly like went past his face. Kind of like, I don't know. So I don't know. You have to keep me up to date, or I'll like have to watch some of this because now I'm really curious.
I mean, other than like hanging out with her throughout the entire story quest to make you actually care about the character, that's really the only immediately important thing to like point of reference to understand whatever I'll be doing for the current like the new stuff.
Yeah.
Besides the other two characters there are also like characters you meet throughout this story. But I don't like neither one of them has any major thing that I feel like needs to be referenced back to, like one character being stabbed and exploding into goo.
Yeah.
And I guess if I'm wrong, I can explain whatever it is then. Unrelated to any story stuff, this is one of the other characters who was in that cutscene. She's the newest character as of the update.
Okay.
And she's a lot of fun to play, but also restricts your team in really weird and awkward ways.
Interesting. I was about to make some dumb comment about like, oh, that kind of looks like something Genshin-y of like, I was looking at the side and I was like, you idiots, made by the same people.
They're made
like
by
where
the
the
same
characters
people,
are.
but also they. Okay, yeah, you mean just like the UI.
The UI, because I know you and I have talked about this.
The more of the UI you navigate, the more you realize it's exactly the same.
It is.
Like
because I remember you showed me even like
the
your
only
mobile
difference
version.
is that it's on the opposite side of the screen.
I love that so much. That's hilarious. Yeah, because I had just noticed something, and I was like, "Wait a minute!" You and I talked about this, and you showed me like the mobile game to like compare it. I was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. Honestly, like, if you have something that works, why change it?
Yeah. Right.
Kind of similar thing. I remember back when Elden Ring first released, a bunch of people making a big deal about all the animations that it reused from Dark Souls. And it's like, FromSoft has spent, like, I remember seeing someone respond with something like, FromSoft has spent the last decade designing and curating this massive library of medieval weapon combat animations. Why would they just discard all of them and not use them just because it's a new game?
I mean, why though? Yeah.
I feel like there was something I wanted to do before starting the story, but I don't remember what it was. Oh well. Oh yeah. Also, after the end of that second cutscene, when we get teleported away by the Memo Keeper, She says she and another person say that this character is probably not what she's been saying she is the whole time and might be really dangerous.
She's the worm.
She was literally right there next to it when it stabbed when it stabbed Firefly.
She's telepathically controlling it.
I have some suspicions as to what the deal is with this character.
I mean, but you know more about the game than I do, so...
Well, I know more about the game, but also the developers have this really funny, interesting habit of kind of just reusing the same character across multiple games.
Nice. Yes, it makes it easy if you have a template to base it off of.
I say that in a way that makes it sound bad. They do it... Like, all of their games are supposed to be set within a kind of consistent multiverse, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So, like... is it here? Yeah. This character is literally... You remember earlier when I was talking about killing off playable characters in their other games?
Mm-hmm.
This character is literally one of the characters that was killed off in one of their other games, but because of their whole multiverse thing, it's a different character in a different setting.
This looks like, is Diluc the guy in Genshin with the red hair?
Yes, and I never made that comparison, but they do look awfully similar. These two are the same person, basically.
Mm.
And, like, they look pretty similar, too. They have the exact same
I was going to say, I can see a lot of similarities with them. Now that you say that, I'm just scanning through.
This guy is literally, like, one of the main... Like, not this guy, per se, but, like, his counterpart is one of the main antagonists of one of their other games.
And... Oh, I almost thought Claire looked like the short girl with the red jacket in Genshin for a second, but I don't think it's quite right.
No, I'm guessing you're talking about Klee, and she's got a better comparison here than Clara. If I can find her.
And after I said that, I was like, wait, the hair color and everything else isn't quite right. But I can see a lot of characters that are very, like, similar. Oh, like, Tengen looks like the girl that shoots the bow. Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah. For sure.
Looks like who?
Looks like Tengen looks like the girl who shoots the bow that nobody likes in Genshin. Or she did in the small picture, not in the big picture.
Okay.
I don't know. The only one I remembered randomly was...
Yeah. The one that someone you know spent, what was it, like $500 to get right when the game released? This guy...
Gallagher likes like somebody. Yeah.
This guy
not indexed.
Literally is just one of the other, like a character from another game who just found a way between dimensions into the setting of this game.
I love that for him. That's actually really cool, though.
Also,
I mean, like, at least they're...
I'm pretty sure he is the only... Okay, no, he's not the only standard banner character I've not gotten, but he's the one that I want to get.
Mm-hmm. Was he the one who came out kind of early and you missed?
He is the one you're thinking of is Zila. She was the game's, like, she was the character that released on the first limited banner when the game first released.
Okay.
And I wanted to get her because she is also kind of sort of like a parallel to a character from one of their other games.
Yeah. Okay. And some of this I could be mixing up with things you told me about your Genshin game versus this game because they're very similar, and I'm having and I just have so limited knowledge of both. It's like this is the same thing. This okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they lean into it instead of being like, no, they're totally different games. What are you talking about?
You say
just
that.
Like, no, it's...
Technically, that's true of Genshin, too, but it's, like, really vague there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Genshin also has a parallel to this same character.
Yeah.
But it's not as obvious. They also have a parallel to the blonde guy who I said was the antagonist in their other game. But it's, again, just not as obvious.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean,
It is. And there were quite a number of arguments, people trying to desperately claim that, no, the characters aren't supposed to be direct parallels to each other like that. They just look similar and have the same voice actors and have very similar abilities and backstories and
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, at least they're just like lean into it of like, no, it's just in multiverse. You know, that's interesting, huh?
There is potentially another character who is like a...
Yeah, for a second, like, when I started, like, watching you play this, because I was doing something else at the same time, like, pulling a few things up because I just sat down, I was like, wait,
Can you let me have some fun
what character is this in Persona? What in the world is going on? And I was like, wait a minute. This is not Persona.
Half the work is already done. Existence is fleeting as the dawn's dew, destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed.
Or for another, like, enemy action.
Dusk's reign, it too shall fall.
We have the upper hand. I'll contain them. Allow me to make a divination, converge, and awaken! All things in this world have their laws, yet stratagems, constellations...
I think the last time I live streamed this game was right after this character released. Because I remember I remember us talking about her.
Yeah, I definitely watched a little bit. I had you on, but I don't want to say like I'm less invested in this than I am Persona, but I guess it's the best way to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah, but like I remember some of this, and I definitely had you on in the background. But this is kind of cool. TV characters.
Half the work is already done. From the still waters of oblivion, I guide the wandering souls.
Ready for another? The Omniscia sees through you, in formation, in accordance. More enemies.
Did you come here of your own volition? Existence is fleeting as the dawn. And still, destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed. Dusk's reign, it too shall fall.
I did not expect that to do enough damage.
Another blood debt repaid.
Okay. I just got kicked by a trash can.
I saw it. You got... Hey, oh, no, I'm a little behind. Let me refresh this.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Time for a buzz.
Another journey begins.
Okay.
From the still waters of oblivion I guide the wandering souls. I weep for the departed. Dusk's reign, it too shall fall.
We have the upper hand. Enough. Allow me to make a divination. Together as one. Time for a buzz.
Did you come here of your own volition?
Oh, I'm
Ouch.
Ow.
Yin and yang. Life and death. Up. We can take them. This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow.
I also know I've extensively complained about... complained about is not the right word, but... discussed my issues with one of the... like, with the...
Again.
like, weakness mechanic of this game.
Yeah.
With you.
Probably.
In formation. In accordance.
Existence is fleeting as the dawn's dew, destined for oblivion.
Ready for another? You took the bait just like that. The omniscient.
Another blood debt repaid. Stream forth the gleam of old blades. Don't forget to let your friends in on the action. Stream forth the gleam of old blades.
Oh yeah. Another thing that a lot of people cite as implications as to why Firefly might be Sam is that when you first encounter Sam in the cutscene before the boss fight, he does not scan you. Like, he only scans the two others who are with you. Because a lot of people say, well, that's because out of the three, you're the only one Firefly has met already. She's not met the other two before. So she doesn't need to scan you, but does need to scan them. Which is only kind of true. She has technically met Acheron once, but only very briefly, as opposed to spending the entire story chapter. I'm going to actually start the story and probably will not talk that much and may potentially at some point leave the Discord call.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's alright. I might do some stuff with some classes I'm taking anyway here in just a moment.
Alright, I'll go ahead and do that then.
Alright, I'll just be lurking in your channel. Good luck!
If you're at any point confused and want me to explain something, I should have at least some amount of eye on the chat.
Alright, sounds good. If not, I'll text you and be like, read your chat.
That ought to work, hopefully.
Yeah, right? Alright, see ya.
See ya.
Ah, friend. My expression wasn't much better than yours when I first saw this.
Oh yeah, there's also the world's angriest man.
Your eyes aren't deceiving you. It's her. The famous singer, Robin. Well, first of all, can I just say that this had nothing to do with me? I'm just an unlucky bystander here. The family can testify for me. If you don't believe me, just ask anyone in the Bloodhound family. They hate me and they hate the IPC, so they'd never lie. This is not where the crime happened. What I showed you was a memory. The most basic light cone manifesting tech. Authorized by the Garden of Recollection and owned by the IPC. Did you really think the Galaxy Rangers were outsiders this whole time? Penacony has made a solemn commitment to protect the safety of anyone inside a family dream. Any person in distress will be forcibly awakened and safely returned to reality. What gives them the confidence to make such conclusive statements? Because behind this promise is the harmony. The family's Dreamweavers link up their minds together to construct an unbreakable defensive line. Breaking through this line of defense to create death in the dreamscape. Not even a memo keeper could do that without the family's permission. Who could have done it, friend? The only one is her. The girl who calls herself a Galaxy Ranger. An imposter. An unsought guest. An emanator who hides her true identity. Ifrit's death was a foregone conclusion. And Robin? Her misfortune was staring right at her. Who will be the next to die? It's fine. Listen to your gut. Building trust always takes time, and I'm willing to wait. I just hope you realize that wherever that legacy is concerned, covert plans are already underway throughout Penacony. Everyone's got their own agenda. Careful you don't get stuck on the wrong side. If I were you, I'd keep my distance from Acheron. After all, any schemes out in the open are always going to be better than a monster in the shadows, right?
Who's to say there isn't an even deeper conspiracy lurking beneath the surface?
Memo Keeper, I think our little deal is finished.
Aventurine is telling the truth. This memory is a real one. And there's no sign of any distortion grafting on.
The IPC is not the Garden, and there are real limits to what they can actually do. But you know all this. Friend, let's not beat around the bush here. The thing is, I want to reach out personally to team up with the Astral Express. I told you I'm just not interested in scrambling for the legacy. I just came to Penacony for work. I'm here to retrieve some lost property for the IPC, if you catch my drift. I'm talking ownership of this frontier prison. This has all become a bad debt thanks to the cancer of all worlds. The IPC has tried sitting down for negotiations time and again, but the family wouldn't even take our calls. You have no idea how difficult these people are to deal with. Put it this way. They've hushed up the existence of death before, so they can definitely cover up any news about Robin's death. It'll just quietly float off like a bubble and pop. Nobody ever being the wiser. That's not fair, right? So then, friend, I need your help. I have but only one goal. The family's front door is like a high wall, and to tear the whole thing down, I'll have to dig out a few chunks first. Once I find a weak point, the IPC will have plenty of means. Now we have our chance. So long as we can get to the truth behind her death, we can have justice for Robin. While also gaining a valuable bargaining chip for bringing the family to the table. Truly a once-in-a-blue-moon opportunity. I've been investigating and making lots of friends all over Penacony precisely for this very moment. This tragic news would be extremely bad for the family, so they'll be doing everything they can to stop it leaking, especially to the IPC. But I trust that there are still a few factions that remain exceptions, and that's why I need you all. The reputation of the Astral Express precedes you, and the Harmony will give you the fairest of appraisals. You get to find out really what happened and seek justice, and I get to put it toward completing my mission for the IPC. It's what you call a win-win situation. Don't worry, just head back and talk things over with your companions. That navigator is really smart. She must understand the value of this deal. Look, here's my contact details. If you come to any conclusions, call me. Oh, and take this. A thorough investigation can always use a little more funding. Don't mention it. So long, friend. I really am looking forward to uncovering the
Because
truth
being
about
given
death
money
with
by
everyone.
this guy is totally something that can be trusted.
Aventurine just sauntered off. He really doesn't mean to force it, but something still seems off.
What now? What are your plans?
Black Swan. What is she thinking?
On the surface, this doesn't look like a bad deal for you. But Aventurine is a shrewd merchant whose scheme won't just be as simple as it appears to be. He doesn't know about Miss Firefly yet, but judging by your reaction, he may have noticed something going on and deliberately shifted topics to the truth of death to try and pull you in line with his way of thinking. That's quick thinking and very sound logic. Aventurine is no fool, and working with him definitely has its dangers. That is something I agree on. Anyway, be careful out there. There's more than one way to blaze a trail. In a dark forest beset by wolves, ensuring your own escape to safety should be your primary concern. As for the other questions, I'm not sure the two cases were committed by the same culprit, but that massive wound looked like its winged blade. We've all witnessed it in action before. Plus, it seems unlikely that there would be two lethal entities loose in the dreamscape. Two victims appearing one after the other in a very short time span, in and of itself, that's very unusual. Two possibilities. The collapse of Penacony's dreamscape has started speeding up, making death extremely agitated and weakening the family's protections. Or everything has been planned out and executed by someone. If someone has chosen these victims deliberately, first a smuggler, then a family celebrity.
Oh yeah, that's one other thing I forgot.
then this murderer's
Firefly is
motives are worth
technically
thoroughly chewing over.
like a criminal who snuck into the dreamscape illegally. but for some weird reason got protected from arrest by one of the authorities of the Dreamscape earlier in the story. Although there's a chance that her being protected was just a matter of them having the wrong description of the person who infiltrated and him just thinking, oh yeah, this person doesn't fit the description, so she can't be the person we're looking for.
Sorry, I can't answer that question. That ranger is shrouded in mystery. I'm afraid no one is capable of providing an answer. But without a doubt, she is the most special guest at this banquet. It's like Aventurine said just then. It's best to keep your distance from her.
And also, another thing I forgot to mention, as this is something that doesn't show up in the game, at least not yet. It's something that was shown in one of the trailers for the chapter. But Black Swan here is absolutely terrified of Acheron, the character I have in my team. Which is hilarious because they're really good on it. They make for a really good team mechanically.
It's all happened so quickly, I can only make conjecture. After leaving here, go have a chat with your companions. I hope you can clarify the source
Basically,
of this confusion.
Black Swan is able to look at people's memories, and at one point prior to the events of this chapter of the story, she tried to look at
this
Acheron's
way.
memories and
It's a
was
short
left
walk.
completely
Don't get
traumatized by what
lost.
she found there.
This way. This is where we part ways. All of this is like a nightmare. Unfortunately, the remembrance doesn't lie. What we just saw is the reality that happened, and it won't fade from our minds just because we wake up. But follow your heart and don't be afraid. We all walk through this world casting shadows of different lengths, and ultimately, all we leave behind are precious memories. Hold on just a sec. There you go. A small parting gift. If one day you unfortunately fall into the deep waters of the memory zone and there's no memo keeper to join you, hopefully it can guide you on my behalf. I also pay great attention to the ways of the world. Just think of this as an apology from me for hiding something from you. Then, I've something private to take care of regarding that Galaxy Ranger. Let's leave things there, shall we? What fascinating memories will you bring for me next time we meet? I sincerely look forward to them.
a family rep. Is Himiko okay? So much has happened. I should take a moment to gather my thoughts and wait for everyone to arrive.
Better unsheath that blade now, Ranger.
Do you still dream, Hunter? Of those slain by your hand?
It appears the outcome has already been determined.
You're still alive, as are you. You still have room to make a choice. Leave the music box behind, and then go.
Choice. The bloody trail of the destruction leaves no room for hesitation.
The Taurus Fire Demon. Even if you sacrifice your life for that Eon, you won't get special treatment.
Ranger, you tread the narrow path of the hunt. You could never understand. We come from the fire, and are born bathed in fire. We spread, burn, and destroy, until all the kindling has burned out and we leave only ashes on the ground. Burning forms the entire life of a fire demon, from the beginning to the end. We are born to die, just to put into practice a profile of another universal truth. All things are created for the destruction.
Your companions don't seem to think so. They fight for your chance at survival.
They are my children, and just as I was, they are flames that have yet to burn white hot. They're still young, and I don't believe them. But my flames are faint, and time is running out. Can you see the planet of festivities in the distance? I plan to bring Purgatory with me there, and before that, I must surpass you.
Why?
Because on the path they have forged, you have traveled farther than I have. Emanator. You cannot hide your true identity. Draw that sword, for we shall indeed remain here, bound to fight a decisive battle to the death, for I choose this. Destruction is intense, but brief. To cravenly cling to life is to endure an endlessly prolonged existence.
Even if the answer turns out to be your own destruction.
What is important is not the answer, but that it exists, just as you exist. Everything exists to be destroyed. Emanators are no different. Just as even sweet dreams may be born of the void, the so-called impossible is merely something that is yet to happen.
All right. I accept.
You shall witness the most brilliant and intense fire in existence. May this flame illuminate the farthest reaches of your bottomless dream.
A bottomless dream. Yes, that's right. But you've made one small mistake. This blade remains in its scabbard not out of pity or scorn. It's a personal secret that I don't want to disclose, but perhaps out of reciprocity. I'll reveal the truth to you. The hunt is not the path I truly follow. May death be the end of your boundless dream, guiding you back to the waking world. I still see them in my dreams. Hold it. Their time hasn't come yet.
My time.
I've seen many clever disguises that can conceal appearances, but they can never cover up who a person really is. And you're no different. You had no desire to kill the Trailblazer. You only did what you did to drive me and the Memo Keeper away, but why? Did Destiny's slave make you do it?
You know, Elio.
I thought this is just the kind of thing that'd get written into your script.
My script has always been brief. Other than that, anything beyond that is unnecessary. He knows my nature. There is but a single destiny from which no one can escape. And until then, I hold the privilege of choice. However, you appear to be ignorant of this. So it's time for me to inquire. Who exactly are you?
Not your enemy, perhaps.
That's not what I asked.
I don't deserve your curiosity. Loners wandering the cosmos always have their secrets. Take me. I'm wanted by the IPC, so it's little wonder that I know something about the Stellaron Hunters. That's all. Maybe I can help.
What reason would you have for doing that?
I tend to forget things. Which is why, rather than memories, I'm accustomed to using my emotions to capture what I normally wouldn't otherwise. So, I know who is inside that cold armor. How about it? Ready to take off that armor and sit down for a talk?
It's not yet time. I don't need help, but I can give you a suggestion that would make things better for you and me. If your goal is the Watchmaker's legacy, then go look into the family. Not only are they covering up the existence of death, but they're burying the past and the truth about what happens inside the dreamscape.
Already on it.
And the Astral Express is no enemy of yours.
I know that. I just never expected to hear you say it. What's next then? The Trailblazer's been taken by Black Swan. Will you go look for him?
No need for that. No harm in mentioning that Elio's only given me one instruction. Get all of the Astral Express to track down the Grand Legacy. I tried settling this in an easier and more direct way, but as you can see, here I am, confronting you. I failed. Can't ever go against the script.
The so-called impossible is merely something that has yet to happen. That's it. Before we split, can I ask you one more thing? Is there anything else in your script about me? I'd like to know what kind of footnote I get to leave in that future foreseen by destiny.
Unfortunately, not a thing came up.
I knew it.
Hang on.
Don't. What?
Your first question was, do you still have dreams about everyone who died because of you? I don't. Never have. I was born without the ability to dream. I live for this cold, harsh reality. For a little light, and to burn, to keep on burning, until I turn to ash. So, I really envy you.
Is that so? Then you're already living in the waking world.
We heard about Miss Firefly from Black Swan, but we never expected Miss Robin to...
I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you then.
Reality cruises on in serenity, while undercurrents bubble up from the dreamscape. Just like that memo keeper said. Stay strong, everyone. We can still do what we can for them. Starting with finding the murderer.
Let's recap everything then. The Trailblazer just reminded me of something. March, do you remember what that family rep who negotiated with us said?
Indeed, we trust that the Nameless has nothing to do with this. And we also beg each of you to help assist the family in verifying the identity of the deceased. That's how it was put, in reference to Miss Firefly.
Looking back, he seemed a little evasive at the time. And he also failed to mention anything about the earlier murder, too.
The family's planning on covering up all news about Miss Robin's death. If news gets out, Penacony's going to turn into a bloodbath.
But the murder that followed closely after was obviously beyond their anticipation. The family had to try and turn things to their advantage by bringing in reinforcements from outside. The Charmony Festival is nearly here. They must be snowed under.
It may also be that Miss Firefly's murder had so many witnesses that it couldn't be covered up. So they went with the flow and let more people on the scene to control the situation. After all, the nature of the two murders is fundamentally different. The family's first protective measure should be against malicious actors among the guests, such as that IPC envoy.
Indeed. He was particularly concerned about that Galaxy Ranger.
Are we missing the forest for the trees here? I always felt that Aventurine's reasons for accusing Miss Acheron were highly subtle. Can we believe him?
At this point, I'm afraid the only ones we can trust are ourselves.
Look, let's try to gather intel first and then list all the possible outcomes we can. Then we go through them, eliminating contradictions one by one. The fewer facts remaining, the closer we are to the truth. I've still got this sense of foreboding. It's like we're stuck in a whirlpool, spinning around that legacy even after everything that's happened.
This time we're playing the role of a real detective. But before we start, what are we going to say to the family and Aventurine?
As I see things, the family harbors no ill will towards the Astral Express. If they didn't trust the crew, they wouldn't have casually commissioned outsiders to investigate a case that's, in all likelihood, a scandal. Plus, this is the family's turf. Teaming up with them should make things easier for us in the future. As for that Aventurine, well, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
He's complex. He deliberately slow-played his hand during negotiations while running circles around us all the while. He appealed convincingly to both reason and emotion. It wasn't forced, but the intent was obvious. Still, it's good to have contacts among all this uncertainty. Aventurine showed his skills, and as far as our interests are aligned, he can become a reliable ally. We also need to keep a certain distance from the family. Never let them get too close. Teaming up with the IPC helps balance that out. If either side makes a move, we have the option to pull out.
So you suggest accepting Aventurine's proposal to team up?
Yes. It's risky, but we can only wait until both sides have played their cards before making any further judgments.
I get why, but there's a whole lot of bad guys and girls around here, and I'm worried about getting stabbed in the back. He's been bullied a few times now, and I can't stand it anymore. No, I can't accept this. Forget about it. Just let me keep an eye on him. If that doesn't work, we can just turn the tables and use him instead.
Then, could you please reply to Aventurine?
Yeah,
Everyone,
this game has a
take this
lot
time
of
to
really
put together your
goofy
thoughts.
answers to stuff. I almost never choose them, but I absolutely love the game for that. Like, there are tons of times where... So, like, the main character's weapon at the beginning of the game is just a baseball bat. And so, just from throughout the game, anytime you're introducing yourself to people, almost every time it gives you the option to introduce yourself as the Galactic Baseballer.
Looks like Aventurine is happy with this outcome. Let's tell everyone about it.
Aventurine's goal is to try and recapture Penacony for IPC. To do this, he'll have to bring down the family in its entirety to create a big enough chance. The existence of death will be covered up by the family. So how does he plan on taking them down? It's gotta be something important enough that everyone will notice. But it also can't be anything too out in the open. Aventurine has devoted considerable attention to her. But this Galaxy Ranger, we know hardly anything about her and can't rush to any conclusions. An attack on the hotel guests? Unlikely. Penacony's guests include quite a few bigwigs known throughout the whole cosmos. People who not even the IPC would dare take lightly. Aventurine is a shrewd merchant, and there's no way he doesn't know that. He's definitely going for the family, and it's just a matter of how. The harmony is strong in Penacony, and almost impossible to take on head-to-head. The fact that the IPC dispatched Aventurine shows that they do not intend to simply play by the book here. I was also considering this possibility, especially because he respects you so much and has sought you out before a few times. Perhaps he's also unsure of your intentions and is probing you. I'm just speculating. In any case, we have to be careful when handling Aventurine. He's skilled at reading people and discerning the right moment to strike. Also, he's clearly a born gambler if he's willing to go all in to win.
Aventurine said something that concerns me. He accused that Galaxy Ranger of killing Robin without any evidence whatsoever, but said nothing about her connection to that memory zone meme or why he was stalking you. It was a groundless accusation, which only serves to make him seem more suspicious. Maybe Aventurine's goal was never to gain our trust. Maybe he wanted to foster a feeling of enmity towards Acheron and make the situation more volatile. Two birds, one stone. However, I asked Dan Heng back on the Express to confirm that story about the Annihilation Gang and the lost messages. It wasn't something that Aventurine made up out of thin air. You've met her many times now. What's your impression of Miss Acheron?
None of these are my impression of Acheron. None of them are strictly wrong, but none of them are my impression. Huh. And the game apparently decides what you're gonna say for you.
That fits the stereotype of a Galaxy Ranger to a T. They're eccentric, unpredictable, and fond of being alone. No wonder she's a suspect.
It kind of makes sense, but it's interesting.
Checked off the list.
Can this be considered the majestic hall of art? I hope hope it's not too soon to bring it up. But I feel like Miss Robin isn't actually dead, but that she's still alive and well. Somewhere. That everything's just some horrible prank.
I mentioned earlier, someone else besides Firefly was also killed, seemingly, by the big snake thing. The other person is Robin, who they keep referencing, who is a celebrity singer that March here is a very big fan of.
Because aren't we supposed to be inside a dream? How could someone die in a beautiful dreamscape like this? Shouldn't only good things happen here? Whenever I see the Grand Theater, I just can't stop all these thoughts from flooding my head. Yeah, of course. At times like this, we're so lucky to have our crew. The family and the IPC. Everyone has their own plans going on. Everyone's still having a great time out there on the streets. Nobody knows what's happened. It's all so unreal. As if Firefly, Miss Robin, and us we're all outsiders from another world. Aw, what a mess. I really want a nice cool drink of soda to help me calm down. But then I'd be just like everyone else out on the streets.
Looks like Aventurine doesn't need anything else. Let's turn our attention to the family's assignment for now. Himeko, what do you think?
Among our current clues, the two murders that he witnessed are the most directly connected. I suggest starting here. One thing I'm curious about is, if a person dies in a dream, what happens to them in real life? Seeing as we're at the family's behest, why not pop back out to reality and verify Miss Firefly's situation back at the hotel? Perhaps we could also make a few inquiries about her while out there.
How about we split off into two groups? There are
The
still
way
some things
Himeko
worth
is speaking
focusing
seems a
on
lot more
inside the dreamscape.
dramatic
I'll
than
investigate
usual.
those, and we can link up again later.
Worth focusing on? Oh. No problem. I'll leave it to you then.
Huh? Aw, I thought I'd finally get to see Himeko and Mr. Yang go out on a mission together. Oh well. Take care then, Mr. Yang.
I will. Keep in touch.
Did he also notice that Himeko is
Honored
weird?
guest, could you come out for a second?
Okay. Nope. Oh. Oh.
I'd be embarrassed too, getting stared at like that.
Forgive me. My name is Welt Yang. I'm one of the crew members on the Astral Express. I believe you've met my colleagues.
Welt.
These two
there
know
something
parallel
about my
versions
name?
of each other.
First, don't you want to know my name?
I already do, Miss Acheron. You're a prominent figure in Penacony.
What are they saying about me?
Some claim that you're the real culprit behind these murders, that the Annihilation Gang's tragic fate at the banquet was a result of your blade, and that you're now attempting to unleash another bloodbath on Penacony.
In fact, the version like Acheron's parallel. Like I mentioned before, Welt is a character from like the universe, like directly from the universe of one of their other games. Acheron's parallel in that other game is one of its main characters.
The Annihilation Gang.
Ifrit of Everflame Mansion.
Tragic fate. That Duke turned his dying body to flames and sacrificed his life as a martyr. He was a determined and heroic pathstrider. Not even a villain should be disparaged like this. And what's more, there were plenty of suspects invited. Do they really think that a blade is more dangerous than that black hole you're wielding?
Keen intuition. Not even the family managed to point out the truth behind this cane. So you must surely know, Miss Acheron, that peering into a black hole is not a wise move. As a potential threat, your knowledge of us has reached uncomfortable depths. Reveal your true identity and intentions. Otherwise, brace yourself for gravitational disintegration.
That shouldn't be necessary. But if it makes the Nameless feel less defensive, I'll be happy to abide. Believe it or not, Galaxy Ranger, Acheron, those are the names I go by to this very day. My trip to Penacony is solely to fulfill an old, final request. I'm here for the Watchmaker's legacy. And that's it. I think I've been honest enough.
Still unwilling to reveal your true identity?
It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I can't. I've come so far, and I can't sum up all of that in just a few words. Everyone has their own unspeakable past. Secrets that they don't want to be revealed. And I won't be asking any more questions, such as why the Astral Express is roaming around the cosmos with a Stellaron on board. Is he okay? That Memo Keeper didn't do anything, right?
He's fine. Let's stick with the topic. Gaining my trust all depends on how much you're willing to reveal.
I've run around many different Penacony dreamscapes just to try and find that legacy. And during this period, I came into contact with quite a few guests. In the process, I gradually came to realize the secret of Penacony may be closely related to the Trailblaze. That's why I've come to ask for your help. I don't have enough proof yet, but I'd like to speculate something. The source of all tragedy lies within the family. If you could trust me, we could find the proof to support this claim together. Mr. Yang, I think you've come to the same conclusion, haven't you?
Let's leave it at that. For now, I'll choose to believe that you bear no hostility. Share your findings with me and me alone. I don't want vague conjecture to interfere with other people's judgments before we find solid proof.
By the way, would you like something to drink? Before we go, how about 2 cups of Wake the Heck Up? No, 4 cups. Because the conversation coming up will last forever.
I've been watching her closely for a while now, and the first invitation was in the banquet hall of the hotel. She just sat in one corner, keeping silent, chugging down a couple cups of Wake the Heck Up. I told her it's a pungent, bitter beverage, not the taste of sweet dreams. Only for people allergic to Soulglad. And she said...
Really? But I don't taste any difference at all between them.
The guest rooms are charmingly minimalist. An aesthetic you share, Miss Acheron. It's a cinch, this music box. The invitation received by the Annihilation Gang. There are latent memories that linger on it yet. You see, memories of you are not yours alone. They travel in other people, other things. I know much, and I can predict even more. With some help, the dead can be made to speak. The Annihilation Gang, that band of desperados who all disappeared after meeting you. What exactly happened to them? Well, let me reveal all.
Gradation 12. Dreamscape 12. Father, I dedicate this to you.
Well done, Dubra. Wherever they go, shall be met by annihilation.
There it is. It's hazy, but it's Ifrit's voice. The other one is probably his progeny. This is the residual memory from when the invitation was first delivered. They were abruptly interrupted. Then, what happened next is...
They sought refuge in a land of sleep, merely wishing for undisturbed rest, away from the storms. Children of the Flame, this marks your rite of passage.
She won't be necessary. I alone am enough.
When have those on the path of destruction feared death?
The Everflame Mansion has set out on a journey. Those poor people, they have no idea what lies in wait ahead of them. Memory recovery is going well, but slowly. She'll be here soon, and time is short. There's nobody else here, so there's no need to be delicate. In fact, I think I'd better go all out. What happened? The memory after that.
What an enlightening
blank.
statement.
How is that possible? This music box fell into Acheron's hands, and she brought it to Penacony. That's a fact, and that's how it should have gone. But along the way... it's like it's been erased. Who's done this?
Who are you? Who are you?
It's... no. Is this not a memory?
Oh, a memo keeper. Do you serve the Garden of Recollection? Or the Cremators? My name is Constance. A pleasure to meet you. We were supposed to meet in Penacony and spend an unforgettable time together. But that seems unrealistic. Dahlia's not welcome on the banquet store, and I don't need a coming-of-age ceremony. And you, I know what you're looking for. Want her secret? I can give it to you, and then you can enjoy the banquet for me. I wish you Unforgettable memories.
Oh. A phone. Wanna listen in?
A few days ago, the IPC made an announcement. Under the watchful guidance of the Marketing Development Department, and in accordance with the Interstellar Peace Charter, the independent Sigonian sovereignty has hereby been established, and shall take a legislative seat at the Interstellar Congress. The formation of the Sigonian sovereignty is of great historical significance to the Sigonia system. This move puts an end to the planet's long and bloody history, turning the sensational Kataka-Abjin extinction event into a distant memory.
Sigonia 4 is located in an unclaimed zone at the intersection of the Denise, Prothean, and Dorneau star clusters. The planet's surface environment is known for being extremely harsh, constantly faced with the threat of impact from small-scale celestial objects. This is why very few intelligent species have made this planet their home, dividing themselves into several tribes to eke out nomad lifestyles as they struggle to survive the arid desert wilderness. They have developed their own folk beliefs that are independent of the Aeon belief system.
Sigonia. Sigonia. Ravenous eye of the storm, spurned by all the gods. Land of rock, but not water. Lightning, but not rain. Blood, but not tears. You beat us with your falling stars. You lash us with wind and storm. You chew us up with the cracked earth. You promised us a land of honey, yet yoked us beneath a sword of bitterness. Oh, Gaiathra Triclops, if thou can hear me, please open up thy 3 eyes and gaze upon this child. When you took his father, my child was still sleeping in my belly. And where my husband went, I too soon must go. I don't ask for a peaceful death. Just for you to tell me, does the baby swaddled sweetly asleep? Does he dream of his mother's heartbeat and the sound of falling rain? Please tell me whether this life is all just a fleeting dream. Otherwise, why would this child be born to face impending death?
Mommy! Mommy! Mommy, the rain. It's raining.
Raining? Raining.
It is raining. It's true. Those Outworlders weren't lying to us. They really did summon the rain. Mommy, we can leave here. We can go back home.
Back home. Gaiathra Triclops. You came. Do you hear that? Thank you. Thank you. is the sound of rain. On the day you were born, the sky also sent down a gift like this from Gayatri. Such a lucky child. Such a blessed child. Just like your name. A gift from them to Avjen. My boy.
I can only assume it's the kind of story that makes sense later
May the
on.
goddess Gayatri close her eyes 3 times.
But also I'm pretty sure this is somewhat
Keep your
kind of the
blood
backstory for the guy I called the
eternally
world's
pulsing.
angriest man earlier.
Let your journey be forever peaceful. And your schemes forever concealed.
Because that's the
Welcome
number
to
of
the
eyes
sad
that
world,
earlier the
Kakavasha.
what? Earlier this person referred to the god as having 3
Time
eyes.
to wake up, gambler.
Hence closing the eyes 3 times.
Oh,
I
heavens.
assume.
I must have drunk too much Soul Glad. Didn't expect you to be back so soon. How is it? Find anything?
Just as you guessed. Nobody outside knows about Robin's death. There aren't even baseless conspiracy theories. They're still streaming the rehearsal for her ceremony, using a stand-in, I guess. They must be dreaming.
Of course. Who could imagine that death would actually descend upon the idyllic dream created by the family? Let alone that the victim would be the female lead of the Charmony Festival. To be honest with you, I didn't believe it. I even tested it a few times myself, until I discovered that I couldn't actually die. Whenever there's any danger, I'm forced awake by the dream pool, and it's all as if everything were just a nightmare. That's why I'm convinced that there are a few big secrets lurking behind the scenes.
Then you must have heard about the Memory Zone meme.
So
When
judging
I
by what
graciously deigned
he's
to
saying,
establish connections with the Oak family
it sounds
on
like
your
it's
behalf,
not
they were
impossible to
quite
die
in a
in the
pitiful
dream.
state
The
of
dream just
disarray.
makes you wake up if you get too close to something that could kill you.
Besides Robin, there was
Typically.
another body. I don't know the exact details, just that it was a stowaway.
2 murder cases? I told you something seemed off about the Nameless. He must have come across the other one. This murderer is a psycho. But I have to admit, the case should be easy to crack. We can leverage the family's malfeasance and let the IPC use this as a reason to intervene. It's just that their trickery runs deeper than I thought. Robin's stand-in was all ready to go. These 2 murders are definitely getting hushed up. What should we do? Let me think. It's too rare an opportunity to miss out on, so I gotta be careful.
Incredible, gambler. Have you already exhausted your limited repertoire of tricks so soon?
There are plenty of chips, but it'd be best to choose carefully. The most straightforward has to be Robin. Remember? That masked fool once told me to find a mute as a friend. Robin is what she calls the mute. She has lost her voice, and while most people can't pick up on it, you and I cannot mistake that sound. Not produced by any voice box, but rather by the resonance of the harmony. If that girl hadn't gone hoarse from singing practice, there'd only be one possibility. Something was up with the family. Or Robin herself. To get to the bottom of this, I tried every way I could to meet her. But she died. Right before my very eyes.
A complete and utter loss. Incidentally, it seems to have resulted in your rather undignified arrival on the interrogation stand. There were eyewitnesses at the scene, and the family, in their graciousness, has tentatively accepted your alibi. However, for the foreseeable future, you shall, regrettably, find yourself under the vigilant watch of the Hounds.
Well, things aren't looking too optimistic, Doctor. I'm starting to break out in a cold sweat. Do you reckon there's still any chance of a comeback, given how things are?
A probability? Yes, it exists, but it verges on the infinitesimal. To phrase it in a manner more befitting the vernacular of Penacony, you're dreaming. But if you simply can't control yourself and want to try your hand, then there just so happens to be a suitable candidate. That man wants to see you again.
Who?
Sunday.
Is this a public hearing or a private trial?
If it were the former, it would hardly befit my stature to stoop to the role of a mere messenger.
Fine. Well, that's great. It's all great. You see, the dead can't talk, but the living can. Ratio, I'm convinced now that there must be something wrong inside the family. Oh, just you wait and see. Batman's sister has died. He can't sit on his hands. Well, without any further ado, let's set off. Lead the way. The show is about to begin.
We're here. The Dewlight Pavilion is the Oak family's fortress and a place where heads of the families meet to discuss great plans for Penacony.
Fortress? I like this metaphor. I dealt with the warlords of the Amanicus star system not long ago, and their synchronized orbital manor wasn't this heavily guarded.
This mansion nominally belongs to Sunday, and is very befitting of its owner. Without his express invitation, the likes of ordinary guests would never grace these grounds in their lifetimes. Look around while you still have this moment of freedom.
Hey, Doc, whose side are you on anyway?
Who's to say I won't sell you out?
We'll see. When we meet the authoritarian master of the Oak family, I'll pry an answer out of him.
Follow me and I'll bring you to his parlor. Hold your tongue and let me deal with the members of the family.
A reward with no risk? I'll take it.
Hey, you two! That's a place of business. No entry.
I was requested by Mr. Sunday to...
Oh, I remember you. Veritas Ratio. Your punch virtual particle clock.
Excuse me?
The one on your head. Of course, it's nothing compared to.
Right, and as I mentioned, that fantasy raiment of yours doesn't exist.
That's because you can't see it. Like I say, only family can see the glory of.
It seems like the idiocy index here is no better than it is out there.
Huh.
Feeling lucky.
A
dead end?
The door is shut tight. Looks like we're on our own.
I mean, there isn't a door.
For security reasons, the family built the administrative site deep in the dreamscape, with the mechanisms hidden in these Nightingale statues. On the previous occasion, an attendant named Kona had gone to the side room to verify something before setting the statues in the correct positions.
Maybe we should do the same. Let's go and take a look. Of course, we can also use brute force. This is hardly enough for a seat at the table.
Oh. Okay. I don't actually know what he does, so I should probably have an extra healer on the team just to be safe.
Oh, the bigger the risk, the better the reward. High stakes, high rewards. Going all in. Tabs on me.
All things are as one.
This one.
A picture of grace and elegance. Pay attention. I'm gonna hold everyone back again. Somebody help me! I need to be brave.
Commencing annihilation.
Better hedge your bets. All in. The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. All right, I'll call your bet.
There's more to life than drawing breath. You'll do. Maybe I can do this. I'm not afraid of you.
Better hedge your bets.
Do we have to fight? Somebody help me!
Commencing annihilation.
You hold some academic value. I so pay attention.
Looks like I've got a winning hand. Going all in. Tabs on me.
I'm gonna hold everyone back again. I need to be brave.
Hide.
There's more to life than drawing breath. You'll do.
All right, I'll call your bet.
I hope I helped.
A reward with no risk? I'll take it.
All or nothing.
Stream forth the gleam of old blades.
Six nightingales facing in different directions. An obvious hint.
But are these nightingales?
They are. What's wrong?
How can nightingales be so huge? They look more like torment eagles to me.
There are no eagles in the 5 families, only nightingales. Why am I wasting time with you on this?
Oh, that was a big dumb on my part. This one was already facing where it needed to be.
Just as I thought. Here's the correct answer.
A truly miraculous discovery. Perhaps I should offer you the chance.
Really? Well, I thought you'd given up on that already.
I was being sarcastic. Can't you tell?
Oh, impressive. So much for Mr. Sunday's reserved, virtuous image.
Do you need me to remind you? We're in a dreamscape. No matter how grand the mansion looks, it'll not affect Penacony. Stop wasting your time nitpicking the family here.
Yeah, you're right. The only way to destroy the family is death. Sunday must have thought the same. Let's head down. reward with no risk? I'll take it.
Hold on.
Huh? What's wrong? Are we heading the wrong way?
No, but this door is locked.
My friend? Did you really make an appointment with him?
It's a trial. You got to prove your worth to Sunday before you can speak with him. If I'm not wrong, we need to find a way to open this door in the hall, or this place will be our prison.
Oh, an escape room. My favorite.
Get serious. I've no time for games. Let's head back. The hint...
Wow. That's an enormous sandpit. I'd love to build a tall building for myself. Once I have enough savings. Oh, look. There's a noticeable gap in the model. I believe you're right.
There wasn't a gap before. That man must have done it intentionally.
Well, with your brilliant mind, you shouldn't have any trouble recalling what was here last time.
Of course. Let's look around. When I see it, I will know it.
Fine. Fine. Why do I feel that we're pursuing a degree in burglary now?
Stream forth the gleam of old blades.
Really?
Found it. This is it.
Stream 4.
Gleam of old.
Stream 4.
And the nameplate reads Gulliver's Arch. Well, I'm amazed you can remember something this tiny.
If I were you, I would shut my mouth. It's wise to remain.
Oh, this reminds me of one of those building toys. You know, with the blocks. I've never played with them before. I wonder if it's more interesting. Oh, look. The gap is closed. And it fits Oh, good heavens. Did I drink? Am I still in a dream?
Indeed.
Oh, Doctor, you're huge. Oh, actually, I think we could make this work for us. Just find a way to slip me into Sunday's collar, and I'll infiltrate the family just like that. Oh, fine. I was just kidding. Let's find a way to open the door.
Welcome to the Golden Hour base model. I am an Oak Soldier. I will be here to guide you through the tour of the base model.
And tell me about the tour.
Hello! I am an Oak Soldier. I will be here. Model. Happy to be of service. Found the nearest check-in spot. Please look behind me.
I saw nothing.
All right.
Oh, capsule machine. There's no mechanism on the floor. Could there be one at the top? Doctor, do me a favor. So, I was right. These models have interiors that look exactly like the real buildings. The only difference is that no one lives in them. Funny that Sunday puts a miniature that makes him seem like a giant by comparison, right where he can see it first thing in the morning. Insecure much?
What a pain.
Stream forth. Bleed both blades.
Oh, one of the fragments flew upstairs. I'll need to use the pinball machine to flick myself up there. But it's tough. Oh, great. There's another pinball machine base here. And it's empty too. Doc! I'll need your brain power again.
There's no need to yell, I can hear you. The pinball machine must be hidden somewhere in the hall. Like the arch. Wait here, and I'll be back in a minute. Finally, a moment of peace.
Ow. You know what? Where's the door that I just went through a minute ago? Okay.
4. Gleam cold blades. Don't forget to let your friends in on the action.
That's it. Pleasant moments of solitude are always fleeting.
Oh, you're back. Just place it here. Thank you. Thanks, Doc. Oh, Ratio, you should come in here and take a look. The view here is breathtaking. Honestly, you could easily squash me with just...
If that is your wish, I will do so without a moment's hesitation.
All done. Piece of cake.
Oh.
Scream 4. Gleam of old blades.
And the joyous tour of Toy City has come to an end. Makes me feel sad. Penacony isn't all bad, right? I'll use this interesting experience as a talking point at the poker table.
It's a pity you made it out of the sandpit alive. Sunday is just beyond this door. From my limited understanding, he's not someone easily handled. Are you prepared?
Yeah. Only I believe he's the one who should be prepared to face me.
Tell me about your plan.
I don't have a plan. I'll just play it by ear. There are only two kinds of bargaining chips when dealing with people. Benefit or fear.
Looks like sincerity isn't in your dictionary.
Am I not sincere enough? There's no need to emphasize it. We've got to make good use of death. That man's sister is dead. He won't be able to turn a blind eye, and that's fear. And I'll help him find the murderer. He can't do it due to his status and position, but I can. And that's benefit.
On what basis do you believe he's incapable, necessitating the delegation to someone from a rival faction? The IPC?
Simple. Because that murderer could very well be a traitor hiding inside the family.
Do you mean the Galaxy Ranger whom you accused previously?
That was just an excuse, good doctor. There's something wrong with that woman. We need someone who can keep her in check. It's better to minimize the variables outside our control while we execute our plans. Moreover, I need to know her identity. If I'm lucky. She could be an important pawn. And it's good to have more helpful friends when dealing with this matter. But honestly, the murder case is likely unrelated to her. I believe my standpoint. There's a rat in the family. Otherwise, why would Mr. Sunday arrange a private meeting with us? This isn't an interrogation, but a secret negotiation. We'll see. Using Robin's death as a bargaining chip, I'll win back my freedom and power. In the end, I'll ruin this beautiful dream and create the grandest death. If the chance of winning is just beyond this door, even if that chance is close to zero, well, you can't win if you don't play, right?
Ah, the charming audacity. To think that you, of all people, might emerge victorious, dear gambler.
3 chips are enough.
No. This guy is, the blonde guy here is actually going to be on the next Raid Up banner. Yeah. This guy is, because he's integral to the story, I get to use him even though he's not even released into the game properly yet. There's a lot I could say that I'm not gonna bother saying. Suffice it to say, he is part of a faction that I generally tend to consider mostly antagonists as far within the game, and he in particular is especially unpleasant within that group.
It seems my puzzles are too effortless for you, IPC Ambassador.
I appreciate your words. And I see you put a lot of effort into welcoming me, Mr. Sunday. However, this is no way to greet a guest.
Well, this isn't an invitation, but a summoning. Before we speak, I need to test your character. I imagine this knowledgeable doctor friend of yours has been of great help, yes?
Certainly. You ought to know this better than I do. He's already faithfully fulfilled his duties, hasn't he?
Yes, the doctor has assured me of your noble character. He considers you, like himself, a virtuous person who can be trusted by the family. I have come to know you very well as a person, Mr. Aventurine. You're diligent, generous, and willing to cooperate. The fact that you succeeded in overcoming many obstacles just to meet me gave me the reason to believe in your wisdom and courage. But there's one thing I must ask you. That is, you've used your wisdom at the wrong place to meet the wrong person and put yourself in a situation where you shouldn't be, witnessing a tragedy that shouldn't have happened.
You don't look too well. Am I making you anxious? If not, then it means I'm on your side.
If I wasn't mistaken, you'd just made a serious accusation against the family.
No, you weren't mistaken. For depravity is creeping in around you. There's no need for us to be evasive. Let's talk about your sister. Your sister's talent is unrivaled in the world of show business. As you know, her voice has been out of tune since she returned to Penacony. What's more disheartening, she can't sing anymore. Who could be responsible for this? Many suspect the culprit is among the outsiders, but I know you hold a different opinion. Now your noble status has become a shackle, preventing you from apprehending the murderer and avenging your sister's death. You're feeling anxious because you're out on a limb. But don't worry, I'm on your side.
I'm immensely honored by your concern for me, Mr. Aventurine. Since you're so selfless and generous, I believe you wouldn't ask for anything in return, would you?
Well, naturally, you wouldn't incur any loss from this. I just want to reclaim what is mine. My liberty and the personal items under the family's custody, the bag of gift money, and...
the box in which the cornerstone is stored.
That's right.
Cornerstone. I've heard it's a treasured asset of the Strategic Investment Department. A sacred stone that seals the Preservation Emanator, granting significant power, and every liquidation specialist holds one. For an object so precious, it probably comes at an even higher price than other forms of recompense.
Well, I'm sure you're aware of the high level of risk I'll be undertaking to bring the truth to light.
Mr. Aventurine, when you're out and about, do you always make adjustments to your appearance? Your tie should be on the center line. Your shirt must not protrude from your vest. Your trouser creases should be perfectly straight, and always aligned with the tips of your shoes.
Of course.
But I don't, because it's not appropriate to do so in public. You should make sure everything is presentable and in order before leaving the house. I'm not the kind that takes risks. The cornerstone must be in the custody of the family.
No room for negotiation?
Please, don't let me turn you down twice.
Sure. The gift money is good enough. I suppose you wouldn't mind that. After all, a merchant can't function without a bargaining chip.
You compromised quicker than I thought. Unfortunately, it's a gambler that needs a bargaining chip, not a merchant. I can give you your gift money, but before that, I want you to tell me. The fact that you can decisively forsake the box you asked for, what exactly is stored in it? Oh, triple-faced soul, please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate lies and make false vows.
What have you done?
Under the light of the harmony, all wickedness is revealed. I implore them to shed their light, and I'll ask you questions on their behalf. Next, you have 113 seconds to prove your innocence and gain my trust.
And if I refuse to answer?
You can try, and we'll see if the harmony rejects you. Question: do you own a cornerstone?
Yes.
What a simple answer. You, too, understand that idle chatter leads only to poverty. Did you hand over the cornerstone to the family when you entered Penacony?
Yes.
Does the cornerstone you handed over to the family belong to you?
Yes.
Is your cornerstone in this room right now?
Yes.
Is your memory free from any kind of tampering or deletion, encompassing but not restricted to the techniques of the Garden of Recollection?
Yes.
Are you an Avgin from Sigonia?
Yes. You even know about that?
Do the Avgins have any ability to read, tamper with, or manipulate one's own or another's mind?
No. Does it matter?
Do you love your family more than yourself?
Yes.
All the Avgins were killed in a massacre. Am I right?
No.
Are you your clan's sole survivor?
Perhaps.
Do you hate and wish to destroy this world with your own hands?
I don't know.
Interesting. Now, the final question. Can you swear that at this very moment, the Aventurine Stone is safe and sound in this box?
Of course.
Looks like we can get an answer. Open it, Mr. Aventurine. It's your last chance to defend your honor. Please. Are these what you're looking for? Since you came as promised, learned doctor, does this mean that you are willing to take the side of the family in this farce?
What makes you think you can convince me?
I've heard you haven't enjoyed Mr. Aventurine's company. I also understand that you're an avid learner who sees the pursuit of knowledge above all.
In that case, you ought to realize that a competent scholar knows their position and wouldn't forsake more vital matters for the sake of petty pride.
If you agree to assist the family, I'll share our research findings on the Stellaron. You must be quite aware that, besides the family, no other faction is willing to share such information.
cut to the chase. What do you need from me?
I need Mr. Aventurine's comprehensive plan.
Haven't you confiscated his cornerstone? You can't expect a featherless bird to take flight.
But I've also heard the 10 elites in the Strategic Investment Department have united, progressing together in the interests of the IPC.
You'll have to speak more clearly than that.
The cornerstone, which Mr. Aventurine surrendered. Was it really his?
You question whether he would entrust you with someone else's cornerstone. The 10 Stonehearts aren't as united as you think. Cornerstones are significantly more precious to them than their very own lives.
But you know that he's a crazed gambler. The more vocal he is about it, the more cautious I must be.
I never imagined someone would share his way of thinking. Honestly, you should see a shrink. Bring it. The box containing the cornerstone is unique, and only IPC senior staff and related members can access it. But I happen to be among them.
I appreciate it.
Unfortunately, your guess is correct.
The Golden Stone. Its color and glow are similar to that of Klepoth's body.
This is the very ruse he intends to use to fool you. He won't reveal to you that the 10 Stonehearts chisel their own will into the cornerstones, granting them an unparalleled radiance. And this golden statue is also known as Topaz, not Adventurine, and it belongs to Topaz. So, do you wish to confront him?
Not at the moment. I'm more interested to know the location of his cornerstone.
The safest place somewhere you'd never think of. Because he never intended to hide it. In fact, that cornerstone has been in your hands from the very beginning.
I see. This bag. Mixing a cornerstone, more precious than life itself, with a bunch of worthless jewels, disguised as a gift of money waiting to be confiscated, is indeed in line with Mr. Aventurine's style.
Then he makes up some trivial excuse, downplaying the matter, and requests the gift money. This is a gamble, one he's all too familiar with, betting on your single misstep, leading to a total loss.
Learned Doctor, I am grateful for your help. The family will surely reward a righteous person like you. As for the villain, I hope he retreats in humiliation. It was all thanks to your friend with a keen eye that I could add a blot of utter failure to your storied career.
Ratio, you wretch.
Finally shown your true colors, huh? Oh, and just to remind you, you currently only have 17 system hours left to live. Treasure your remaining time, and savor the delectable aftertaste of defeat.
You might as well explain yourself a little more clearly.
What I performed on you just now was the Harmony's consecration. You were to show allegiance beneath the illumination of their grace. Yet you acted willfully, uttering nothing but falsehoods, transforming the consecration into a trial. I genuinely see no reason to absolve you from it.
Is this what the Harmony represents? But is it built upon constraint and coercion?
You misunderstand, Mr. Aventurine. Punishment is meant for the irreverent, but I have seen your resilient spirit, and thus I offer you the possibility of a new beginning. Throughout these 17 system hours, you will be unable to escape the dreamscape or contact any of your companions. You only have 2 paths before you, and it all depends on whether you can complete my test within the time limit. Should you succeed, you will be able to coalesce into the Harmony and be with your family. If you fail, you will suffer the wrath of the Eternal Centurion and fall into an abyss of doom.
Sounds like I'm gonna end up the same either way.
I indeed do need a servant to help me uncover the evil hidden in the family from an external perspective. I will purge the evil from the inside and bring the real culprits to justice within 17 system hours. When the time comes, compare your findings with mine. If both our findings align, or if you can provide me more insights, then they will truly be able to grant you mercy and honesty.
Shameless hypocrites. You took everything from me and still demand the truth? That isn't fair. Your carnival reeks with the stench of cash. Nothing is achievable without it.
This is meant to be an act of personal virtue, not requiring the family's support. Your bag is over there. Do as you please. I believe you can trade this bag of worthless jewels for everything you need. That's what gamblers excel at, isn't it? Off you go, Mr. Aventurine. You are free. I will wait here for your good news.
This meeting isn't an interrogation or a negotiation. It's an outright execution.
Why would I do that, Mr. Aventurine? I'm just wondering what a passerby who stumbled upon a scene of a murder could have found out. That's all. By the way, before you go, I have a personal question.
What is it now?
Do you truly wish to bring about the destruction of this world?
Kakavasha! Where did you go? Oh, are you injured?
I got it back, sister.
You went to look for them? That's too dangerous. It's just a necklace. It's neither food nor water. We can survive without it. But I can't live without you, little brother. Promise me not to look for those catechins again, okay?
Sister, don't be afraid. The catechins are fools, but I'm smart. I played a game with them, and I won.
Won? What happened exactly? Tell me.
I made a bet with them. The 2 birds in the desert and me. Who will die first? I won. They suspected me of cheating, but I didn't. I won fair and square.
Of course you'd win. You've always been a lucky child. Gaiathra Triclops must be watching over you. But that's no reason to push your luck by going up against those bloodthirsty, cruel catechins. Have you forgotten how Mom and Dad... This is just a necklace. But Kakavasha, you are my only family.
I'm sorry, sister. I thought you'd be happy. Because Mom left you this necklace. There'll be no next time.
It is important. But not as important as you, my dearest brother. I don't blame you, but you must remember what Mom said. Pain and poverty are the trials of Gayathra Triclops. She has also granted us a chance. And that's your good luck, Kakavasha. Your good luck is the most precious wealth we, all Avgin, have. You're a child blessed by Gayathra Triclops and can lead the clan to happiness. So always remember to protect yourself and never resent the pain and poverty you're going through. All right? Listen to me and swear to Gayathra Triclops.
Okay. We'll swear to Gayathra Triclops to protect this wealth. But sister, if Gayathra Triclops was really watching over us, then why did she not protect Dad when he was swept away by the quicksand? After all, Dad went to the Catechins' land only to prepare for Gayathra Triclops' offerings. And where was Gayathra Triclops when Mom was shivering in our arms? Mom was still pleading for Gayathra Triclops' forgiveness under her breath, until the moment she closed her eyes. Sister, everyone praises me for being smart, but I don't get it. If every rain pour was Gayathra Triclops' forgiveness and grace, then how bad were our sins? So much so that we were born in this world of death?
Excuse me. I can't seem to find any information on this artist in the Iris family archives. The photo you provided also doesn't show any matches.
Just as I thought. I'd like to ask, what kind of traces do people leave when they enter a dream?
Are you referring to the records when you enter the dream pool? The equipment will monitor physiological indicators such as heart rate, blood oxygen levels, and body temperature in real time. This data will be included in statistics and handed over to the family for the screening of any data anomalies. Immediate action will be taken once any illegal behavior is detected. I apologize. The hotel does not have access. This information is managed by the Bloodhound family. We can only gain access if there's a problem.
Looks like nothing can be found here.
At least we know who to look for next. We can ask the Bloodhound family for information. Thank you for your assistance, Miss Allie. By the way, is Miss Robin doing fine? We are looking forward to her performance.
Fine? What does that mean? Is there something wrong with Miss Robin? The preparations for the Charmony Festival have been proceeding smoothly, so I guess things are pretty good. I believe she will be able to put on a spectacular show for all of you.
I'm sure. Sure enough, no one knows about Miss Robin. I'm not surprised. But that Miss Firefly is truly mysterious. There's no information on her in the hotel system. Even if she's a stowaway, she should have a disguised identity after entering the planet. She's also in the running for the legacy. How is she going to sneak into the dreamscape unnoticed?
Is there any other way to enter a dream? Besides the hotel room's dream pool?
The Memo Keepers have abilities that are difficult for normal people to comprehend. In the memory zone of Penacony, they thrive effortlessly, a fact proven to us by Black Swan. The hacker girl from the Stellaron Hunters used extraordinary means to unlock the Dreamscape Hotel's seal. According to the scene witnessed by him, it is likely that they are behind Miss Firefly's case.
The Garden of Recollection and the Stellaron Hunters. Both are possible, but what about the IPC? Since they want Penacony all for themselves, they're bound to have a plan.
Who are you guys?
The Bravo team has arrived at their designated position, ready to execute armed evacuation operation. Boss, get moving!
Armed evacuation?
What do you know? It's more efficient this way. Just don't let the director find out. Act first, report later. Understood?
Help! Help me! I spent all my year-end bonus on the snowball!
Hey, check it out! That voice. Could it be the IPC workers from Belobog?
To all guests, the IPC will be conducting special...
I'll request a beating for you lot! You've been told not to drink during work hours. Take him back to the hotel room. I'll organize a meeting later to properly go over how this incident report should be written.
Miss Topaz? I never thought I'd run into you on Penacony.
Long time no see, Astral Express crew. Aventurine has told me a lot about your happenings. Huh? It's fine.
Topaz, the person who just showed up, works for the same organization that Aventurine does. The three guys in armor are way lower down the ladder in that same corporation and were just really drunk and causing trouble, so Topaz is sending them away. Topaz is also one of exactly 2 reasons why I don't just straight up consider that group to be, like that faction, to be the outright villains of the game. She was a major character in one of the story chapters I didn't live stream. So it would have made a lot more sense if I had live streamed the chapter, not the one immediately before this one, but the one a couple of chapters back.
As you see, the IPC isn't very popular here on Penacony. Cordiality from the family is a mere facade. The former frontier prison has turned around and cuffed its shackles on the IPC staff now. Only Aventurine, who carries an invitation, is allowed to attend the banquet. An entourage like us, we can only sit around in the reality hotel, unauthorized to even enter dreams.
No wonder Aventurine's scrambling to partner up with someone. The IPC can't back him up in the dreamscape.
His situation isn't optimistic, I hear. You're all helping to investigate some dirt on the family, are you not? Let me know if you need anything outside the dreamscape. The IPC always treats its partners well.
I'm still torn between whether or not the way Himiko is talking is supposed to be indicative of something, or if she was just given really weird voice acting direction for this one story chapter.
Thank you, Miss
I
Topaz.
swear she was talking
We're
normally
on our way to
earlier
Hounds to
in the
verify some
stream.
intel. Perhaps you've had dealings with them?
Yep, they're tailing us right now. Why not go and talk to them? It'll take the spotlight off me. Being constantly stared at is really uncomfortable.
It also makes me more suspicious that there's a character that I'm pretty, like, introduced in the previous chapter. Like, that's still around, that I'm pretty sure can disguise herself as other people, but I'm only pretty sure.
How does it feel to be in business with Aventurine? I bet you're not used to it. That's just his style. All or nothing is his mantra. He's always cozying up to his clients while egging them on to undertake some dangerous assignment with him. But everyone has their merits, so
normally
I won't comment further.
like, it's not
But
so different
Aventurine's
as to
luck
be,
has
like, it's not a
always been good.
different voice actor.
He's always closed
But
on
her
his
voice
cases
is
without a hitch,
normally like a
basically
higher
never lost a
pitch
gamble.
and a lot more
Which is
kind
why,
of
on the issue of
cheerful.
retaking Penacony, I'm watching with keen interest.
I can probably play some of... I do have her, so I can probably pull up the character list and play some of her voice lines in a second.
Of course. It's business after all. What's important is where you're seated at the table. As for the two cases, apologies, but I don't have much info on them either. All I can do is ask you to keep digging for more details.
Welcome aboard. I'm Himiko, navigator of the Astral Express. I'm sure we're about to embark on a fascinating journey together.
The thing is, she wasn't present for any of that, though. She heard about it secondhand. Like, that was that was something that occurred to me, but it's like two people, one of whom she's met once, and the other is a complete stranger to her, got stabbed by a big worm. And she wasn't even present to see either of those things happen.
Hey there. Tired? How about a coffee? Relax. Pom Pom and I are here to take care of the train.
But you see, or hear, I guess, what I'm talking about with the difference between, like, her normal voice and how she's talking in the story dialogue. Like, the way she's talking in the story dialogue, it sounds like worse voice acting. Like, sounds like intentionally bad voice acting.
We're carrying out our captain's orders. What do you want?
Oh, that's not what I meant to.
We made a mistake last time, and we're working hard to rectify it now. We don't have time for anything else. Surveilling the IPC executive Topaz, ensuring that she stays put at the Reverie Hotel.
So that's it. They were the pair who were after Firefly at the time.
It's you again. Well, spit it out. Stop bothering us if you've nothing important.
So you know each other. Why do you keep running into people you've beaten up before? That's right. We're investigating a murder for the family. Can we speak to your captain about the case?
Well...
Hey! The security officer instructed everyone to shut their traps before he returned from Dream's Edge. What murder? You'd better stop spouting nonsense.
Yeah, that's right.
Looks like they're not going to cooperate. But they did at least tell us that the captain is at Dream's Edge.
Why don't we just look for the security officer then? It's probably Gallagher, the one he mentioned, right? Such tight security. I bet they're stumped by the case as well. Gallagher. Gallagher. Where could he be?
Apologies. The Bloodhound family is running an investigation up ahead. No unauthorized personnel allowed. Hold on a minute. I think I've seen you before. The gray-haired one.
How much trouble have you stirred up?
Oh, is this the guy who...
Penacony?
Okay.
Not possible. It was you the last time, yelling about some clockwork friendship while beating me up with that silver-haired girl. I'm not letting you get by this time. Please leave, or I'll have to get on my knees and beg you.
Huh? What kind of heinous crime have you committed now?
Hold on, sir. We have documents authorized by the family that would aid your investigation. If it wouldn't trouble you, could we see this Mr. Gallagher?
Who exactly is this Gallagher you keep talking about? There's been a few people mentioning this name.
Does this guy seriously
Even
not
the one
know
with the
his
gray
boss's
hair.
name?
He didn't send you all here?
It was the security officer who dispatched us. That's all I can divulge.
He'll do. He's the one we've been looking for.
Sorry, no can do. The boss said that since it's a matter of the family's reputation, no one's allowed through. Everyone, please leave. There's really no need for us to make things difficult for each other, right?
We're really sorry for troubling you. Let's think of another way.
Another way. That's it! Didn't they say something about that... what was it? Clockwork? That got this guy to change his mind?
Am I... Oh, boy.
Can you perform it again? That... It's not bad if we're... Please?
Okay.
Sorry, no can. Everyone, please leave.
No, rather than kicking his shins, I'm just gonna twist his emotions around, apparently.
Let me see what time it is now. Whoa, it's this time already. What? Time to clock out. And no one's gonna stop me.
What? This clockwork trick of yours, it's kinda dangerous.
At least he won't be getting in our way again. Let's go find that Gallagher and ask him the intricacies of the case.
I was wondering what all the commotion was. Huh. Oh, it's you guys. Welcome. Since you made it here, what can I do for you?
Hello, Mr. Gallagher, sir. Judging from your tone, it sounds like you were expecting us.
Miss Himiko, you're too polite. There's no need to call me sir.
Mr. Gallagher, you even know my name.
Of course I do. You folks are from the legendary Astral Express, and honorable guests of the Watchmaker. I had an encounter with this gentleman in the Golden Hour. I remember that little silver-haired girl was there too. I'm sorry for what happened to that kid.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That is a reoccurring pattern with him, continuing from the chapter that I didn't stream.
This is also the reason why we've come to visit you, Mr. Gallagher. The Express can't just overlook the death of that child. So we've decided to help the family get to the bottom of it, in the hopes of getting justice for her.
The Nameless involved with the family. What an unpredictable twist of fate.
Why? What's wrong with the family?
It's nothing. On Penacony, everyone loves the family. No matter how much one resists the beautiful dream, when the time comes, they too will find it hard to let go. Who wants to leave a warm nest? Just idiots, little kids, and inebriated fools.
Mr. Gallagher seems to be getting at something.
Well, you got it wrong. I'm not. You want to discuss the case? Sure, come with me. This is not a good place to talk. Let's go elsewhere. Even after that chilling tragedy, this dream is still running effortlessly. Other than the family of the Harmony, it's hard to imagine any other power in the universe that could sustain a building of such
one of his
magnitude.
subordinates has no clue what his name
The
is.
family itself is a huge perfect.
As far as I can remember, it's only that one spiky-haired guy.
Building, like a living idol. Each member of the family sees themselves as a piece of the divine puzzle, revolving around a singular core and a shared ideal. Under their command, they loyally fulfill their roles, offering themselves while also receiving sustenance in return.
Interesting analogy. Perhaps that's why Penacony's beautiful dream has persisted for so long.
But the human body has its limits, and so does the Divine's.
That doesn't sound like the kind of comment a Galaxy Ranger would make.
Just pointing out the facts. Mr. Yang will definitely have a better sense of what's going on than I do.
Why do you say that, Miss Acheron?
The beautiful dream is crumbling. But not because of a particular eon, a particular faction, or a particular visitor. Its collapse stems from a certain inevitability of human nature. The family refuses to acknowledge this, and it has ultimately backfired and become a catalyst. As people immerse their souls in the dreamscape, where consequences and pain cease to exist, and only ease and pleasure prevail, they draw closer and closer to necrosis. Regardless of the perceived bliss, death looms as the inevitable conclusion. Also, this necrosis will diffuse and spread. One piece of the puzzle's mutation will eventually cause the entire building to shake, break, and crumble.
In the end, the dreams that people built in the name of freedom became the cage that imprisoned them. I'm sure you've gained a lot from this trip, Miss Acheron. Are you willing to share your findings with me?
Of course. That's if I remember. Don't mind me. It's just a habit.
Owing to events in the past, I've become easily forgetful. It's only when this sword is unsheathed that those hazy memories start to become clearer.
Take your time.
That should do it. I vividly remember everything that occurred on Penacony. Ask away.
The moment of daybreak. I've heard that's where the Dawn Factory, which processes the foundation of the Dreamscape, is located.
Behind the Dreamscape's song and dance stand many imagination factories. Workers create all kinds of whimsical works day in and day out in their dreams. Then they return to reality and sleep on a narrow bed in a room. A far cry from luxury. They say it will suffice. Experiencing the bizarre and motley dreamscape is the best reward. There I encountered a young woman who had just come of age, the perfect time to indulge in beautiful dreams. Her greatest wish was to one day move to the golden hour and see the magnificent garments she had woven with her own hands. For certain reasons, her wish was difficult to fulfill. But I managed to bring her a garment.
Gilded Hour. It's said to be Penacony's currency center.
Yes. It is a fortress-like financial city, the economic heart of the dreamscape. The Pepeshi people of the Alfalfa family are there to keep it running, sending blood that is made from money everywhere on Penacony. Everyone there is exquisitely dressed and always in a hurry. The greatest wish of the local Pepeshi people is for their future generations to work in the Gilded Hour. I've never met anyone who is willing to talk. I could only stand at the crossroads, watching crowds of people hurrying like the wind through the jungle of steel, only to deposit the Alfalfa credits that they'd earned into the bank's vault. I don't know if they would open the vault door, but before I left, I witnessed a well-dressed Pepeshi person plummet from the sky, while those around him continued on their way, unfazed.
I hear the Blue Hour is very romantic. Do you have any tales to share?
Perhaps Mr. Yang has heard. There is a large boat called the Eventide, anchored along the Sea of Dreams, where soft music and dancing persist endlessly every night. I ran into a wizened lady there. She was at the dock, waiting for her long-departed lover to return, waiting for countless hours within time that stood still. In the humid sea breeze, she spoke of her own youth. Like many who desired wealth and love, they came to Penacony to pursue their dreams. Alas, her lover's consciousness was lost in the dark depths of the Sea of Dreams. Finally, she suggested we continue our conversation on a boat in the shallows. I agreed and boarded the boat with her. But she never said anything. Her eyes absent-mindedly gazing at the horizon for what seemed like forever. Finally, we retreated to the beach.
The dreamscape of chic, luxury, and consumerism, the moment of dusk. My companions have been there too.
Then you all must have seen those who are attempting to realize their dreams. Or have realized them. Scattering money as if it were dust and betting it on all or nothing. Everything has a price, and everything can be bought or sold. Even dreams themselves. I saw an Intellitron there, who was preparing to auction himself. When someone wins a bid, under stipulated periods and rules, he would do the buyer's every bidding, becoming that person's very possession. That Intellitron had been auctioned off 12 times, and I participated in his 13th. That was the grandest banquet I had ever attended. But never again did anyone cast another glance at him. This time around, there were no successful bids for him. This is what I've seen and heard along the way. Someone once said to me, Penacony wasn't like this a long time ago. Nor should it be. I've traveled through the reality and dreamscape of the planet of festivities. Watched the tides of night rise and fall when time stopped for people. Where the spirits of the rich and impoverished remain forever fixed on their own scales. This is why I think the collapse of the beautiful dream is inevitable.
There might be a way to change everything.
Perhaps. But if this is indeed the world that people desire, if this is precisely why life chooses to slumber, should we still seek to change it?
Miss Acheron, now it's my turn to share a story with you. There was a man from my homeland who, at a time when the world was grappling with deep, unhealable pain, made a choice. He wove together the dreams of everyone in the world, linking people's dreamscapes, and shouldered this burden himself. From this, he created a giant, a spiritual atom. And since that moment, the giant stood between heaven and earth, becoming the pillar of the world's existence. As a price, those who found it hard to move forward, who could not advance, forever lost their future. They slumbered in a dream, devoid of disaster and pain, living out their days peacefully in the man's created utopia. And it is because of the wishes of those people who wished not to awaken that this spiritual atom became unbreakable.
And yet, you stand here right now, which also means that man failed.
Because people must always move towards the future. Even if human weaknesses make them pause when they truly cannot move forward, humanity will eventually seek a way to save itself. And that man, he was never a failure. Like everyone in that world, he etched the possibilities of human nature into his heart. He was the sun chaser of legend, soaring towards the sky and embracing his final victory with his fall. He ascended to heights uncharted, only to come face to face with the sun, a place not visited by anyone before. His wings would melt because of it, only for him to fall into the sea. And after that, countless others would surpass him, soaring to even greater heights.
A fitting metaphor for the Nameless's trailblazing spirit. Thank you, Mr. Yang. I know what you wish to confirm. The universe has innumerable similar, yet different worlds. In these worlds, there are innumerable people who look alike, yet don't. I too have embarked on journeys, encountering old friends with familiar faces on different worlds, witnessing their destinies follow paths similar to mine. So I will tell you, even if not completely similar, the story you just told, it overlaps with my past. And within that abyssal dream, I ended that man's life. Alone. I am not who you think I am. Nor will my home be as fortunate as your world.
I am sorry.
It's fine. I don't mind, so long as I can alleviate your suspicions.
There's something I still wish to know, Miss Acheron. Under that representation of the hunt, exactly what sort of power is it that has motivated your solitary journey thus far?
So the story Welt told, the man he's talking about, is the antagonist of the game that Welt, like of the setting Welt is from. And in that setting, Acheron's parallel did still end up fighting that man, but she did so with allies around her. And the implication here seems to be Acheron's allies all died in the fight, whereas her parallel's allies were there with her throughout the fight and after it.
Mr. Yang, before answering that question, I wish to continue the previous topic. I like your analogy very much. Indeed, birds are born to fly. But in a distant past, their ancestors could only gaze at the sky in envy. They saw that faraway ray of light from above the heavens, piercing through the clouds and blanketing the earth.
Actually.
And so, time and time again, generation after generation, the birds spread their wings and took to the sky, attempting to touch its ceiling. All because the sun was there.
So, the first time you encounter Acheron earlier on in the story chapter, the previous story chapter that I don't have a live stream of, she says something that actually varies depending on which main character you have, because the main character at the beginning of the game you can choose between a male and female version. And if you have the male version, she tells you remind her of a dear friend that she fought against, and if you do have the female version, she says you remind her of a dear friend she fought alongside. The implication, again, with the dear friend she fought against being it's probably the same person that she and Welt were just talking about here. Because that person, again, there's a lot more that I'm actually not going to bother going into. There's so much I could talk about with this series, with all these games, and how they overlap with one another. It's really cool, and it's also a lot more than is probably worth talking about right now.
Then, what if the last bird finally soars into the sky, only to realize that the end of the light is not the sun, but darkness? Then why, exactly, do we even walk towards the light?
Long time no see. Having fun on Penacony? Acheron?
This voice, it's not Constance. Could it be her companion?
Though I don't know exactly what you are, or what you're up to, my bullets will find you. Until then, you best find a casket store on Penacony and ask the owner to reserve a good quality casket for you, imposter.
Imposter? I see. She gave my whereabouts to someone who's tracking Acheron too. Who are you?
Huh? Did I make a mistake? Who the heck are you?
I'm the Garden of Recollection's memo keeper.
Not bad. This is the kind of tough challenge I like. You that imposter's bodyguard? Never mind. It's fine. I'll leave a round for you. So get that forehead clean and wait for me.
I don't know what you're talking about, but you know Acheron, the Galaxy Ranger, yes? I have something to ask you.
Are you asking me to write your will? Sure. Go ahead.
Not quite. I only want to ask, how exactly did she become a Galaxy Ranger? She's clearly not a Pathstrider of the Hunt, but you are, aren't you? Tell me, what's Acheron's deal?
Sure. Heck, never thought I'd come across an ally. What a stroke of luck. Oh, well. I'll be on Penacony soon. Memo Keeper, go buy a bottle of Asdana's White Oak and warm it up. And I'll raise a glass to you. That lady's passed. Well, nobody knows. But if all you want is a simple answer, sure, you best get a chair and take a seat. That woman, named Acheron, is an emanator who should not exist.
You look pale. Or is that also part of your act?
I didn't think you'd have the nerve to show yourself.
I thought this was exactly what you wanted. After all, I faithfully fulfilled my duties as you instructed. Just tell me if you can't hold on any longer.
So, the genius of the Council of Mundanites wants to be my Undertaker now. My, what an honor.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure the people at the Strategic Investment Department would love to be notified of your death in due time. But let's not forget, you won't be seeing them, because I'm the manager of this task.
Great. Then tell your people that Aventurine is ready to go in 17 system hours.
Oh, you've got a lot of nerve. How exactly do you plan on completing your task while your hands are tied by the Harmony?
Well, my conversation with Sunday convinced me that there's a traitor in the family, and that they hold the secrets of Penacony. So, I took the opportunity to set everything in motion. I even managed to recover the gift money. Things haven't gone this smoothly since I walked through the doors of the Reverie. Now I'm only one step away from victory. Let's just wait and see.
Sounds like a very elaborate way of saying that you failed.
That's all I can say. Have you forgotten, Doctor? You betrayed me. Go. Do what you must. I look forward to the sight of the IPC fleet surrounding Penacony. You've achieved what you desired, haven't you?
That's true, but what's your plan? Did you conceal an orbital support beacon in that gift money bag?
Well, who knows? Maybe that's why I'm handing out cash even when I'm about to bite the dust.
You are indeed a gambler. An insane one at that.
Well, maybe I am. Who knows?
Fine. Here, take this. Open it when you're on your last legs. You'll thank me.
What's this? Medical advice? You catch on pretty fast, Doctor. Asking me to solve a case without giving a single clue. How typical of you, you wing-headed scoundrel. But the way you're all on edge about that stowaway, it's just as I guessed it would be. As for now, let the rain of wealth from the IPC fall evenly on everyone.
All right. Alright, well, I had hopes to get all of this done in one go, but I'm honestly not inclined to think I'm even close to done with it, and it's getting close to midnight, and I have places to be tomorrow. I guess I should have done this yesterday after all. But I might stream more of this tomorrow night. I'm not sure. But either way, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna finish up, like, I'll be playing through until I finish up this story chapter before I go back to Persona 3. So I guess we'll just see how many streams that takes. You do the same.